Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us for our presentation of Johnson & Johnson. We are Team A, and my name is Melinda Beckham. I will be taking you through the company history, product offering, market share, and revenue. My teammate, Christabel, will then discuss the vision and direction of the company, followed by Jaime, who will discuss the strategy and competitor analysis, and Yvonne will discuss the core concepts. Afterwards, I will wrap up with the team's conclusion about Johnson & Johnson's future. Johnson & Johnson has a very long company history. In fact, it has a 130-year history. So I have broken the history down into three distinct and important time periods. The first time period is the early years. That would include the year of formation, 1886. And what a lot of people don't know about Johnson & Johnson is when they first opened their doors in 1886, they had 8 female employees and 6 male employees. But further than that, the 2 of the 8 female employees were in a position of power, if you will, over the men. The men had to report directly to those 2 women. So both the company and the women were making a statement in 1886. In that same period, they introduced the commercial first aid kit, Johnson & Johnson's baby powder, dental floss, and Band-Aids. Baby powder, dental floss, and Band-Aids, the brand names all have become synonymous with products that are the same or similar to those products. In 1900, Johnson & Johnson was the largest supplier of disaster relief in the great hurricane of 1900 that destroyed Galveston and took many lives. That act of disaster relief effort really laid the blueprint and foundation for Johnson & Johnson's long history of social responsibility. In the expansion years, Robert Wood Johnson II took over leadership and took the company global, expanding it into a family of companies. During that same period, they entered the research and diagnostic period. Mr. Robert Wood Johnson penned the credo himself, and that credo still stands today. He took the company public in 1944, and they introduced Johnson's No More Tears baby shampoo. In 1959, the company entered an entirely new arena with the acquisition of McNeil Laboratories, the maker of Tylenol. Tylenol would later in 1982 become a crisis point for the company. The next segment is the innovation years. During this time period, Johnson & Johnson introduced AccuView, which was a contact lens that could be worn for up to a week at a time. They also acquired Neutrogena Corporation, Kodak's clinical diagnostic business, as well as a few other businesses, introducing also the first coronary stent, entering the therapeutic arena of HIV, AIDS, health, and wellness, acquired Pfizer Consumer and merged that with its own consumer products and opened innovation centers around the world. Johnson & Johnson has 3 major product offering segments. The consumer segment breaks down further into baby and beauty and health and healing. The baby and beauty segment is led by skincare at $3.5 billion, which is helped by celebrity endorsements of Jennifer Aniston for Aveeno and Jennifer Garner for Neutrogena. The health and healing segment is led with their over-the-counter medications at $3.9 billion. The medical device segment brought in $25.137 billion in 2015 and is led by the orthopedics category, which is made up mainly of hip and knee replacement devices. The last segment is the pharmaceutical products at $31.4 billion, accounting for the company's largest revenue segment, and that segment is led by immunology at $10.4 billion. The market segment share for Johnson & Johnson breaks down pharmaceutical, leading the way at 45% of total revenue, consumer at 19%, and the middle being made up by medical devices. Now, Johnson & Johnson entered the pharmaceutical segment in 1959, and that's 73 years after the company's inception. This has proved to be a very smart move by Johnson & Johnson as it leads in sales, market segment, and leads the way in innovation. The consumer segment, over the counter, as I said before, leads with skincare accounting for the second largest sales volume in that segment. Baby care, an early sales leader for the company, made up just 15% of this segment in 2015. This signifies the company's ability to diversify its product offering and still maintain a strong hold on the segment against its competitors. The orthopedics and surgery care lead the medical device section, followed by vision care, cardiovascular, and diabetes care. Surprisingly, diagnostic sales are insignificant in this segment and could represent an opportunity for growth for the company in the future. Worldwide revenue breaks down into 4 basic regions. The United States leads the way geographically, and with revenue accounting for 51% of total global sales. That is followed by Europe with $16 billion in sales, then Asia, Pacific, Africa, and followed finally by the Western Hemisphere. At this time, I'll turn it over to my teammate Christabel to discuss the company's vision.